We're a family, man. We're a family. You gotta play for your family. You gotta love being with your brothers. Time to go to work. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20.
That doesn't get you fired up. Nothing else will, that's for sure. Saints and Jets, and it is fall in the Northeast. 48 degrees today. It's a slight breeze, but not that bad considering it can get windy in this place. 12 miles an hour as the winds blow across MetLife Stadium. Rex Ryan's Jets have been up and down this year in his 5th year. They have been inconsistent, to say the least. And here's some visual evidence. The win versus Tampa Bay and then the loss against the Patriots. But a win against Buffalo, 4th quarter comeback, and the loss at Tennessee. But the stock went up with the win at Atlanta, comeback again, and then the stock fell on the loss home to Pittsburgh. Stock up with a big win over the Patriots, and then the stock hit rock bottom. Sell, sell, sell with the loss to the Bengals. And the angry Rex, but now back home to take on Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints.
Well, Kev, if you follow that graph, you're buying Jet stock, because that means they're coming with a win here today. And Rex Ryan, he took the approach. You flushed that film down the toilet. They didn't watch it at Cincinnati. They knew Drew Brees and company was a-coming, and they got to work, and they felt like they had an excellent week of preparation. You got a fired-up Jets team, fired-up Saints team. Going to be a fun day.
And the Saints won the toss and will receive. Darren Sproles back deep to receive it. And Nick Folk, who's had an outstanding year kicking, will start this one up in New Jersey. Sproles takes a knee. And out comes Drew Brees. Just another ho-hum game of 5 touchdowns or more for Brees last week in the win over Buffalo.
Well, I think Rex Ryan says it best when he calls him a surgeon. Drew Brees, he will cut you up, and there's the offensive line that protects him. They've had their struggles up front. Sean Payton, very mindful, will switch up protections, do a bunch of different things to help those guys out. You see the rookie Kenny Stills and Nick Toon at the wide receiver position.
Jimmy Graham's been battling a foot injury. Only played 18 snaps last year, but he's in there at the top of your screen as we started off. And Brees going to look for him, and we get a flag right off the bat. D. Milliner, the cornerback, had the coverage on Graham. Jets may have jumped to start this play.
Offside. Defense, number 96, was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's on Muhammad Wilkerson. Clete Blakeman, by the way, 6th season in the NFL, is our referee this afternoon.
Muhammad Wilkerson, you see him at the defensive end position, going to get a quick jump. You'll see Muhammad Wilkerson all over the field, inside, outside, a fabulous football player and a real force for the New York Jets.
The 12th offsides penalty on the Jets, 2nd in the league. Brees fires, and Moore holds on for a nice catch. Lance Moore, good hands. Antonio Allen was there on the stop, but Moore picks up a first down in an 11-yard gain.
Lance Moore, a guy that Drew Brees trusts about as much as anybody in big situations. He goes to Lance Moore, and particularly with Colston out, look for him to look to Moore quite often here today.
On first down, we'll get Darren Sproles his first touch, and Sproles is met on the outside. Nowhere to run. Antonio Allen with a nice tackle after a gain of 2.
Kevin, when you look at this Jets defense, it starts up front. Harrison, Richardson, the rookie, and Muhammad Wilkerson. That's a defensive front. The linebackers have been playing well, led by David Harris in the middle.
And the secondary, Milliner, has really struggled, the rookie. He's been benched already twice during games this year.
Hey, King, New York. King, New York. 1, 2, ready. Ready, my side.
On a 2nd and 8, it's Thomas. And he's going to work his way to the 42. He's going to pick up 4 yards. He might have a 3rd down and 4. Quentin Copel's on the tackle.
Now, Kevin, when you look at the New Orleans Saints on offense, you've got Jimmy Graham, you've got Darren Sproles. Those are matchup nightmares. But the supporting cast this week's a little different. Without the luxury of having Marcus Colston, a real go-to guy who does everything for these Saints. It's Kenny Stills, who's been playing at a high level, that they are going to look to pick up the slack.
Saints 43% on third down. That's 5th in the NFL, and Drew Brees has to burn his first time out. And so the Jets D makes Drew Brees call the first time out of the game on this first series. And they'll talk it over. No score early on in the first quarter. Saints have a third down coming up. Third and 4 for the Saints. Play clock at 3. They didn't get it off. Boy, coming out of a timeout for the Saints not to get a playoff.
And Drew Brees.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Drew Brees on both of those penalties was not happy with his center, Brian De La Puente, at all. You're going to have to change some protections against a Rex Ryan coach defense. They're going to show you multiple looks. Drew Brees doing that, but then he wants the ball and the crowd noise factoring in early here today at MetLife Stadium.
Saints have to get to the 46 on a third down. Brees, pocket collapsing. Somehow he gets through it, and he's got a completion into Jets territory down to the 38. It's Lance Moore again coming up with a catch. Kyle Wilson on the coverage, but it's a gain of 26.
And this is something Drew Brees does so well. Looks like he's a dead duck. Just continues to move those feet, and what he does, he keeps his eyes downfield so well. When he does that, the receivers find the open spot, and it's Lance Moore, his go-to guy, that he finds once again. That's Drew Brees for you. You think you have him, he's not down until you bring him down.
Lance Moore missed 3 games with a hand injury. Came back last week with a 15-yard touchdown against the Bills. 2 big catches already, and we get another flag. This one's going to be on New Orleans. So 3 penalty flags already. We're 2 seconds into the game.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's a left tackle, Charles Brown, that time.
Sloppy start, to say the least. Both teams having their issues with just procedural issues. Lining up correctly, getting the snap, offsides, false starts. We'll see if they can get it going.
Saints have Mark Ingram activated today. He had been out with a toe injury, the former Heisman winner, in the game for his first snap, but they'll throw it. Brees, pocket collapsing, and he throws it as he's taken down. We get a flag back there as well. They say there's no grounding. There was a receiver in the area. It was Wilkerson and Coples applying the pressure.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 96. Blow to the head of the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The Jets doing a wonderful job of getting pressure on Drew Brees. They talk about a forcible blow to the head that warrants a 15-yard penalty. I'm not so sure that's forcible. That's up to the discretion of the official, Clete Blakeman. He sees it as such.
I think here's the problem with it. That's a tough one. He's trying to defend a pass, but as his hand was coming off the helmet, Drew Brees' head turned that way. And I think that could influence the call. Nonetheless, big call. 15 yards, first down for New Orleans. Looking to set up a screen. They get it to Thomas, and he goes nowhere. David Harris with the big play and a loss. Rex Ryan's team has been penalized the most in the NFL. They had a game with 20 penalties, 20 earlier in this year, and they won that game. That's the crazy thing about it.
Well, they're always going to toe that line of playing extremely aggressive, but you have to play smart. That last penalty on Wilkerson, though, I think that's a tough call. One that went against the Jets that perhaps shouldn't have.
Ready! Ready for shot!
That's Jed Collins, number 45, the fullback in motion, and Brees slings it near side. There's the rookie Kenny Stills down to the 25. It's a 4-yard gain. Stills had a breakout performance last week, couple long touchdowns. Rookie out of Oklahoma, 5th-round draft pick.
They really marvel at Kenny Stills, how smart and polished of a player he is, only being a rookie. Everyone from Drew Brees to Sean Payton, everybody marvels about his veteran savvy as a rookie in this league.
Pierre Thomas in at running back. And then they put him out in the slot. Ingram back there with Drew Brees on a 3rd and 6. Blitz coming. Brees gets it off. Incomplete. Looking for Thomas. It was Darren Walls on the coverage. And now New Orleans will have to settle for a field goal try.
Well, Drew Brees, he'll use all of them. 10 receivers last week that he threw to and completed passes. He likes the matchup with Pierre Thomas. Good coverage by Darren Walls in the slot on Pierre Thomas.
And now this is no sure thing. It'll be a 43-yard attempt for Garrett Hartley. He missed 2 field goals last week against Buffalo, both pushed wide left. Morstead, the punter, he's your holder. And Hartley pushes that one wide left. And so the Jets D holds with a little assist. And Rex Ryan's group looking to get back on offense in the groove. No score here in the first from MetLife Stadium. It is officially fall in the Northeast. You got to get out the old ski caps and the jackets. It was around 70 degrees here yesterday, so the temperature really dropped. And now here are the Jets and Geno Smith on offense for the first time. Chris Ivory against his former team gets swarmed. Akeem Hicks and a couple of others there, and Ivory goes backwards on the first offensive play. But Geno Smith, he's a rookie. He's made some rookie mistakes, but the bottom line is he's 4-4. He's had 4 comeback game-winning drives too, so there's been some good things from him this year.
There has, but as you see and as we talked about in the open, he gets loose with the ball at times. Rob Ryan talking about him, highly talented, but doesn't know how important the ball is. He will learn that the ball is everything in the National Football League.
That's Jeremy Curley in motion. Jonathan Vilma, the ex-Jet, is in there. They set a screen to Curley, and he goes nowhere. David Hawthorne with a quick tackle, and the Jets are facing a 3rd and long. On the offensive line, Nick Mangold is a staple. Winter's the rookie. Ferguson's had an up-and-down year, the Pro Bowler at left tackle.
And they're going to really miss Jeff Cumberland at the tight end position. You see Bilal Powell, a reliable back, but Ivory is the one, Chris Ivory, the former Saint, that I think they'd really like to get going today. Get back to that ground and pound, keep Drew Brees off the field.
Jets are actually 34% on 3rd and long, which is very good. It's 6th in the league, 3rd and 11. Smith has time and throwing behind Powell, incomplete. And so the Jets go 3 and out on their opening possession.
Something Rob Ryan and Sean Payton have done with this defense. I mean, right out the bat last week against the Buffalo Bills, they caused a fumble on the first play. Today, a 3 and out. The Saints D, again, it starts up front. They're physical, they're tough, and they're playing some great defense.
Lance Moore is back to return the punt. Not sure why, because Darren Sproles is their normal guy. So not sure if there's anything there or just giving Sproles some sort of break here. Quigley gets it away. That was close. Maybe even the Saints got a piece. They might have. And there's also a flag because Quigley got hit. Keontae Dawson was there for New Orleans. And now the all-important, did they get a hand on the football? If they did, they can hit the punter. If not, that's going to be a penalty. There's Dawson, who was in the mix. It's a 34-yard punt without the flag. Let's see.
There's Dawson, not blocked into him, clearly makes contact with Quigley. There you see it.
Well, he did not get a tip.
Running into the kicker. Defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Enforced from the previous spot. Replay. 4th down.
Clete Blakeman goes over to the Jets sideline, not the roughing the kicker, but running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty. But with the 35-yard punt, you're going to repunt that football. Everything about field position in this game.
And running into the kicker there because he ran into that kicking leg and spun around, not the plant leg. And that's the difference between punting again and a 1st down. So Quigley will try it again. This time gets it off under no duress, and it's Moore calling a fair catch, and will do so right around the 20-yard line. The Saints will take the ball for the second time. Sean Payton asking Garrett Hartley, his kicker, hey, gonna need you a little bit later. Geno Smith and the Jets going 3 and out. Smith talking to Marty Mornhinweg, the offensive coordinator. There's Matt Sims, number 5, the backup quarterback, and Sean Payton and his Saints have the ball for the second time today. Breeze, a lot of time, dumps it to Thomas, has some room, and Pierre Thomas out across the 30 for a first down, but a flag comes in from the secondary. We should point out, we were asking about Darren Sproles, why he wasn't back on the punt. He just went to the locker room. We don't know why, don't have a report yet, but Sproles is not on the field for the Saints. And we'll get you an idea on him soon.
Defense number 39. Penalties decline. Yardage is enough for a first down.
We've got a game break, our first of the day. Kurt Menefee has it for us.
All right, Falcons and Panthers, 7 plays after Luke Kuechly picked off Matt Ryan. The Panthers turned it into points. Mike Tolbert, 4-yard score. It's 7-0 in Charlotte. Kevin and John.
Kurt, Panthers hot. They've won 3 in a row. Cam Newton's playing great. They're in the mix behind these Saints, and they've got 2 games left with them this year. On a first down, there's Jimmy Graham, and Graham falls forward to the 37. Dean Milliner on Graham a couple times early in this game.
And Kevin, what you got to be happy about if you're a Saints fan as they go no huddle is that Jimmy Graham's in there. Last week it was primarily third down situations and red zone that they reserved for him coming off the foot injury. He's been out there quite often today. A good sign that he's feeling much better.
That's Graham at the top of your screen on a 2nd and 4. Time for Breeze as Harrison breezes by. Tipped and intercepted. Landry got his hands on it, but Mario Davis came down with the interception. Dewan Landry the tip, Davis the interception, and the Jets in business.
Just an excellent break on the ball. Reading the eyes of Drew Brees by Dewan Landry. Hooks him a little bit, but gets in there cleanly with that left-handed Demario Davis. Good things happen when you run to the football. Demario Davis comes down with the pick for the New York Jets.
First pick of the year for Davis, Jets ball. Drew Brees throws an interception. Demario Davis has it, and the Jets, their second possession starts in Saints territory. It's Chris Ivory with the carry. Ivory against his former team. Rumbles inside the 25, down to 21. Chris Ivory says, remember me? 27-yard run.
Well, this is one thing Marty Mornhinweg talked about. They're so aggressive on defense, you can use that aggressiveness against them. If you get by that first line of defense, a lot of open room, and Chris Ivory finds it and makes the Saints pay for their aggressiveness. Chris Ivory, a guy they really wanted to get going today.
Josh Cribbs in at the Wildcat. Jets signed him a couple weeks ago. The former college quarterback's going to take it and run, and not run very far. Saints have that one defends Curtis Lofton on the stop for no gain.
Well, the Jets will run the Wildcat more than anybody in this league. You'll see it quite often. We talked to Marty Mornhinweg, the offensive coordinator, about it. He likes having people prepare for it. Then in the game, he likes seeing what their adjustment is. He says where we are with a rookie quarterback, it's something we need to utilize, and we will quite often.
Geno Smith back in on his 2nd and 10. Smith can run it, looks to throw it, and had nobody, so he's going to take it upfield for a short gain. David Hawthorne was there to try and force him out of bounds. You know, with the Wildcat, you know, Marty Mornhinweg told us a few reasons why he likes him. Certainly a rookie quarterback take off the pressure, but John, for a defender, does it really make a difference preparing for it?
Well, you spend a lot of time during the week, and so if anything, it takes you off, takes your mind off the fastball, which is the rest of the offense. And if you can make people do that, then it's an asset to you. They see it as one.
3rd and 10 for Geno Smith. Blitz coming. He gets rid of it near side, but it's overthrown. David Nelson was the intended receiver. And that'll set up a field goal try for Nick Folk, who has been incredible this year.
Well, look at this. That means cover 0. Nobody in the middle of the field more than the Jets can protect. You're going to have a free runner, but a lot of room for receivers. Geno inaccurate with the pass. The pressure pays off for Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints.
It'll be a 39-yard field goal for Nick Folk. He's 19 of 19 this year, including 4 game winners.
That's pretty good, huh, Kev?
It's been pretty outstanding. Make it 20 for 20. Nick Folk continues his fantastic season, and the Jets can't get the touchdown, but they do capitalize on the turnover. Geno Smith a little upset, but it's 3-0 New York. Defense has been very good at times this year. I know they're coming off a game where they got throttled by the Bengals, but John, they've made Drew Brees think a little bit so far today, including the interception.
Well, when you see Drew Brees uncomfortable, double clutching the football, that's not something you see quite often. Rex Ryan, one of his hallmarks, a lot of volume. He'll throw a lot of different looks. It clearly has Drew Brees and this Saints offense flustered early.
So number 39, that's Travaris Cadet back to receive the kickoff from Folk. Still no word on Darren Sproles, who went back to the locker room after the Saints' first series. And if he can't come back, that's a pretty big loss considering they're already without Marcus Colston. Cadet's going to take it out. And he's tripped up before the 20-yard line. So Drew Brees will have his 3rd possession. Jets picked him off the last time. It was Demario Davis, led to a field goal. Now it's Brees and the Saints with another chance. 3-0 Jets. 3-0 Jets, 5:36 to go in this first quarter from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
You see the numbers, Kev. 7 and 9 looks pretty good. But if you're watching the game I'm watching, you're seeing Drew Brees a little confused right now by the movement of this New York Jets defense.
And they've already gotten 3 hurries on Drew Brees to start things off. They've gotten some pressure. Try to get the run game going, but running right at Sheldon Richardson is not a great recipe for success. It's a gain of 2. And consider the fact now for Brees. We know that Jimmy Graham's hobbled. He seems to be playing more early than last week. Darren Sproles is out. No Marcus Colston. That's big.
Those are 3 of his favorite guys to throw to. Now, the great thing about Drew Brees, he does not discriminate. He'll throw to Colston. He'll throw to Kenny Stills. Robert Meacham, if you can walk, if you can run and get open, he'll find you, and he'll throw it to you.
Mark Ingram in at tailback on his 2nd and 8. Four-man rush. Brees has a man open. It's Robert Meacham who makes the catch. And Meacham is out to the 36. It's a gain of 15. It's a first down. We've got a game break. Kurt Menefee, take it away.
Well, with both E.J. Manuel and Thad Lewis out with injuries, Jeff Toole gets his first NFL start for Buffalo against Kansas City. Hey, no problem. 59-yard hookup with Marquise Goodwin. And the Bills trying to pull the upset up 7-0 as they start the second quarter. Kevin and John.
I mean, the Chiefs only give up 12 points a game, so the Bills only have 5 more to score the rest of the way. Here's Brees, back to pass, pressured again, and he just chucks it away and gets it away. Now the crowd groaning, but there was a receiver there. I think they wanted Brees to be down, but somehow he gets it away, and there is no sack.
Now, Kevin, add that to the list of things that Drew Brees can do to you. He can throw effectively, but he can also throw left-handed. He's going to find his way out of there, and it's the left-handed throw for an incompletion. Looks like a little thing, but that's the hit in yardage that sometimes is the difference between winning and losing in this league.
Again, though, the pressure, 4th hurry of the day for the Jets. Jimmy Graham back in. John just circled him for you on a 2nd and 10.
Being covered by Antonio Cromartie, their cornerback. This was something Sean Payton.
And again, the Saints aren't going to get the playoff.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
I mean, 2 delay games against Drew Brees, one of them after a timeout. What's going on?
The struggle. The Jets present so much movement. Drew Brees excellent at getting in the right protection, getting his team in the right protection. He's trying to do it. The crowd plays into it. This is what I'm talking about. Clearly flustered is Drew Brees right now in this New Orleans Saints offense.
Fake to Thomas. Pressure picked up. Brees over the middle. Meacham. Bobbled! Somehow he got it back. I mean, that was tipped 10 times, and Meacham will corral it. They'll spot him up at about the 44-yard line for a 13-yard gain.
You see Robert Meacham find the open part in the zone. Drew Brees throws a dart right on him, hits off his face mask. Demario Davis gets a piece, D. Milliner, and then finally Robert Meacham brings it in.
I counted 7 times. Different fingers were on that ball before Meacham finally corralled it. That was unreal. On his head, where is it? And he caught the thing. That's great concentration. 3rd and 2. And they've got the first. Jimmy Graham has it. Allen on the tackle. Saints move the chains.
When you watch film of a Sean Payton coached offense, there's so much. Look at Jimmy Graham right here. He's going to go in motion. They got the back over there, sprint right option, old Bill Walsh play. You're throwing it to Jimmy Graham in the flat, but so much deception. You don't just align Jimmy Graham there and run him to the flat. You line him in the backfield. You motion. You never let the defense get a beat on what you're doing, much like Rex Ryan in this Jets defense. So you do that to us, we'll do it back to you.
A lot of good tight ends in this
New
league.
Orleans takes its 2nd timeout.
So Graham's numbers, he has been outstanding. The 2nd timeout on the Saints. So we're here with 2:55 to go in the 1st quarter. And the Saints already have used 2 of their timeouts. New season of The Ultimate Fighter is powerful, relentless, epic, and it's just getting started. Catch the show critics say delivers the goods. See why they call Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate the new best rivalry in sports. Get hooked on the show everyone's talking about. The Ultimate Fighter, all new Wednesday, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now. So 2 delay of games, 2 timeouts used already in the 1st quarter. It's been a little bit of a flustered beginning for these Saints who trail the Jets 3-0.
Tell you one thing though, Kevin, Drew Brees usually finds the solution.
That's Jimmy Graham in motion on a 1st and 10. 4-man rush again, but there's pressure. Now Brees going to go deep. He's got Graham, and Graham makes the catch, fighting for the end zone. Touchdown! 51 yards to Jimmy Graham. They're not flustered anymore. They're in the lead.
As I said right before the play, he usually figures out and finds that solution. You see Jimmy Graham working on Jaquan Jarrett, not the guy you want on Jimmy Graham. But look at the fight in Jimmy Graham to get that ball. I believe that will stand. Great effort by Jimmy Graham. And Drew Brees flustered early, but he's going to figure things out, and he figured it out in a hurry.
Amazing how you could play a whole 1st quarter and clearly having some issues, trouble with the Jets defense, and then one big play to turn that all around.
You do what you call a double move. You run them to the flat, the old out and up that you run in the street at home. Well, that's what Drew Brees just did with Jimmy Graham.
Garrett Hartley will attempt the extra point. It's good. And it's the Saints in front 7-3. And Drew Brees had some pressure there too.
Well, watch the subtlety of Drew Brees. Little play action pass. Little push from Muhammad Wilkerson. Slide a little to the left. Push up in the pocket. His eyes, the whole field is always available to Drew Brees. Does such a great job of moving in the pocket and finding the right guy. And the right guy right there was Jimmy Graham.
Rex Ryan told us about Drew Brees the other day. Check this out. Concentrating. And then Jaquan Jarrett trying to hog tie the wild boar. Couldn't do it. And then the signature. Even with the foot injury, the slam home from the former college basketball player is Graham. But, you know, Rex Ryan about Drew Brees. Johnny said he's got as good a vision down the field as any quarterback that's playing.
Well, believe me, we so often see half-field readers in today's football. The whole field is in play when you're playing against Drew Brees. He manipulates coverage. He'll look to the left. He'll look to the right. You have to cover everybody on the field because at any time he's going to find everybody on that roster. Anybody who's eligible, Drew Brees will find, especially a guy like Jimmy Graham.
9 touchdown catches for Graham. That ties Wes Welker for the NFL lead. Josh Cribbs back to receive. He'll take it out. And Cribbs across the 20. He's going to be at about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Jets will take over. Boy, what a sign for the Saints with Sproles not in there, or at least leaving the game, and then Colston out. Graham only played 18 snaps last week. He's clearly feeling a lot better with that injury to his foot.
No doubt about it. And really interesting in talking to Geno Smith this week. We saw the field goal earlier. Geno said, hey, we're playing Drew Brees. We can't kick field goals in the red zone. We got to have touchdowns. Well, here you go, Geno Smith. You got to get it down there. Then you got to cash in with TDs, because you know Drew Brees is going to have them.
And now they send Smith out. They do the wildcat to Ivory. And he's going to get a short gain of about 2 penalty flags, 2 of them on the field as well. So Marty Mornhinweg tries the trickery, but that didn't fool the Saints.
Illegal shift. Offense. 11 men never got set before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Geno never gets set, but he's in motion. Don't know quite who wasn't set right there, but Lee Blakeman said not everybody's set for the New York Jets.
That makes it a 1st and 15. Smith coming near side on the slant, tipped away. He was looking for Jeremy Curley. Jabari Greer on the coverage, but Cam Jordan got his hands on that one. Jordan, number 94, is having a breakout year, his 3rd year out of Cal.
He really is. 6 sacks on the year, but more impressive, constant you know, if he's got 6 sacks, he's got 20+ pressures. The guy is all over quarterbacks. He plays so many snaps. I mean, they rotate. Cam Jordan stays out there. He's become a force to be reckoned with for the New Orleans Saints.
Bilal Powell in the game in the backfield for the Jets. 2nd and long. Pressure from Gillespie, throw near side of the fullback. Bohannon, and can't make the catch. Low throw, 3rd and forever.
You think about what the Saints have done defensively. You can throw out all the stats. I know they were historically bad in terms of yardage last year. The most important stat in football for a defense is points. You see points last year, 31st in the league, giving up almost 30 points a game. This year down to 17. A remarkable turnaround for Rob Ryan and this New Orleans Saint defense.
Meanwhile, Geno Smith is 1 of 5 for 1 yard. That's Cribbs in motion. 3rd and long. They hit Cribbs, and he gets taken down. Nice tackle made by Corey White. Gain of 5, and the Jets will punt, and their offense isn't close to getting going just yet.
Well, at times we sit up here, Kevin, and it seems like tackling in the NFL is a lost art. That's how you tackle. You keep your head up, you bring your arms, and you hit through the target. Don't call that illegal, because that's a great tackle by Corey White.
Ryan Quigley, first year out of Boston College, will punt it away under some pressure. It's Lance Moore, short punt. They'll let it bounce. Take a jet bounce, but still the Saints will have good field position here. Well, the Saints, John, were epically bad on defense last year. I mean, the most yards ever allowed in the National Football League, and so they bring in Rob Ryan.
And boy, have the returns been good. Now, Rob Ryan, I'll tell you this, he's been an impressive defensive coordinator everywhere he's been. At times, maybe a little bit unsound. He had so much volume, but Sean Payton, like he's done with so many people, including Drew Brees, he's made Rob Ryan better. He tells them, look, we're going on this trip for 2 days. Don't pack for 2 weeks. So you got to scale down, more sound Rob Ryan, and it's been excellent for the New Orleans Saints.
Give it to Thomas, and he's got no game. Calvin Pace has the tackle. What's going on with Darren Sproles? Molly McGrath, you have more for us.
Thanks, Kevin. As you mentioned, Darren Sproles is back in the locker room, and I just talked to Saints PR, and they told me that he's with a doctor getting his head examined. They don't know if it's a concussion or not, but he is questionable to return. Kevin?
Well, and, you know, that whole process, if you're in question of a concussion, I mean, that takes about 14 minutes to do the whole evaluation. And you say, well, how can it take that long? It does. They do a whole bunch of testing compared to baseline testing that they've done before the season. And so we're not going to know just yet. And that happened a little while ago, but it might not be 14 minutes yet as we come in the final minute of the first quarter. And Drew Brees just spent the final Saints timeout. I can't remember the last time I saw a game where you're not even out of the first quarter and the team used all the timeouts.
Well, Kevin, I'd like to tell you he's flustered, but last time I did that, he threw a long touchdown to Jimmy Graham. So go ahead, Drew Brees. Keep calling timeouts.
That is, that's strange to say the least from Drew Brees. You know, it's interesting with Rob Ryan, though. I want to go back to that because, you know, there's been a feel about him. And you talked about how sometimes a little bit too much. Don't pack for 2 weeks, if you're there for 2 days. But I think there's a couple things with him. Attitude. And is it possible that this team has taken to his scheme better than maybe any of the other personnel he's ever had?
No doubt about it. He's done a remarkable job.
I think the Jets have too many men on the field. That's going to be the initial indication. They do.
12 men on a defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's math time with John Lynch. John?
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good call, Clete Blakeman.
Clete's on top of it. Bad penalties for each team today. 2nd and 5 for New Orleans. As they go with the 5-wide look. Three-man rush, and Brees hits Lance Moore. He's got a first down. Lance Moore up at the 49-yard line. Kyle Wilson was there on the coverage, but that'll be a 6-yard gain. It'll move the chains.
I was talking to Henry Ellard, the great receiver in this league and receivers coach for the New Orleans Saints. Said it's easy to coach receivers when you're coaching for a team with Drew Brees at quarterback, because these guys know to run your route hard on every play, because Drew Brees potentially is throwing you on every play. You never know which guy he's targeting.
You got Pierre Thomas, the running back, split to the top of your screen. Maybe the final play of the first quarter, and Brees, little shallow pass, and Moore just dropped it. I don't think Lance Moore was expecting that at all. Brees sensed the pressure coming from Muhammad Wilkerson. Incomplete.
I told you, you always need to be expecting it with Drew Brees, because he's going to find the open guy. Again, remarkable in the way he works the pocket. His vision incredible. Sees an open Lance Moore. Lance Moore can't bring it in.
On a 2nd down, it's Brees. And Milner made a nice break on that play. He was looking for Pierre Thomas, but D. Milner, he's had a rough go, but Rex Ryan expressing some confidence in him during the week, and he makes the play.
Watch D. Milner, a little trap coverage, sitting back there, putting the bait out there for Drew Brees, and then driving on the ball. And that's why, that length is why he's a first-round pick. Has really struggled, and that's a lonely feeling, struggling on that island at the cornerback position. But they instilled a lot of faith in the young man, bringing him back out here after a rough game last week.
Third and 10. Pressure coming, but it's picked up, and Brees going to go deep far side, and he's got, it's incomplete. He had a man. It was Nick Toon trying to make the big play in the area where his father made so many big plays, Al Toon, but he couldn't come up with it. He should have made that grab.
Nick Toon getting his opportunity. Double moving the Jets a lot. Man coverage. They're trying to find these double moves. D. Milner beat badly. Drew Brees puts it on the dime. And Nick Toon cannot bring the ball in.
Why did he dive? I thought if he just kept running, he would have scored. And so Toon can't handle it, and the Saints will punt it away. Morstead takes the Saints bounce, and look at this. They will down it inside the 5. Great punt by Thomas Morstead. 49 yards, no return. Quarter number 1 is over here in New Jersey. It's the Saints 7, Jets 3. Jets football when we return on Fox. Here's Nick Toon apologizing to Drew Brees about that catch. You see Drew say, hey, man, we're going to need you. Saints up 7-3 on the Jets. We start the second quarter, and the Jets backed up big time inside their own 5. Another penalty. It's been sloppy so far for both teams. Each team with 4 penalties already.
False start. Offense, number 66. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. Replay first half.
Well, John, it's been a little bit sloppy for both teams in this game. And here, you know, it looks like the Saints have been a little off their game, but they're the ones winning this game right now.
Yeah, and that's what it's like playing against these elite quarterbacks. You feel like you're doing a great job, and the Jets, frankly, have. They've got Drew Brees a little flustered. But guys like that, they find out what you're doing, and they expose it. And Drew Brees is doing it without the service of a lot of his top targets.
The Jets need some offense. They've only got 31 total yards, and it stays the same. Kenny Vaccaro coming in to knock it away, and the Saints cannot rave enough about the play of this rookie out of Texas.
Well, you turn on the tape and you see exactly why. He's got everything you want in a safety in the National Football League. The ability to play in space, so critical in today's. He's physical, he's tough, he's smart. Excellent football player they have in Kenny Vaccaro.
Rob Ryan compared him to a young Rodney Harrison. High praise, 2nd and 12. Ivory breaks to an arm tackle. Chris Ivory at midfield. What a run by Chris Ivory. Kenny Vaccaro came in to knock him out of bounds finally, but Ivory breaking through the hole and giving the Jets a 52-yard run.
Well, you see the Saints stacking the box again. This is what Marty Mornhinweg talked about. You see the crease there. Chris Ivory's going to find it and then run through the tackle of Curtis Lofton. And then look at the hustle of Kenny Vaccaro. We were just singing his praises, going and tracking down. That's a touchdown-saving tackle by the rookie from Texas.
Chris Ivory's got 3 carries for 77 yards. As Bilal Powell will spell him a tailback. All week, Ivy downplayed the notion of going against his former team. I'd say he's a little excited. Now Powell breaking through the line, and he's got a strong run. Down to the 40, Bilal Powell picks up 6 yards before Curtis Lofton made the stop. And you go back 2 games ago when the Jets got Ivory in the run game going against New England. That's what they've got to do today.
Absolutely, because that's the weakness, frankly, of this Saints defense. If they have one, it's the rush defense. They can be run on. They stack the box so much, intent on stopping it. Well, if you get by that first line, a lot of space there. Marty Mornhinweg and the Jets, Chris Ivory doing a great job of exposing that.
You know, the Jets are so injured at receiver right now. And now Jeremy Curley, they're injured. Their top receiver now goes out. And a Wildcat, Cribbs, he's going to throw it. Does so. He's got a man open. It's ruined. Actually, it's Sudfeld, the backup tight end. Sudfeld making the grab. Curtis Lofton on the stop with the Wildcat and a throw and a jet. First down.
Well, Marty Mornhinweg, when we talked to him about their Wildcat, he said there's a lot of items in that Wildcat umbrella. This must have been one of them. Josh Cribbs with the ability to throw the football finds Sudfeld. Sudfeld wanting that ball. Good form by Josh Cribbs. You gotta like that.
He was a quarterback at Kent State in college. All he did was amass 10,839 yards. He could run it and throw it. Now it's the Jets 1st and 10 down to the 15. David Nelson, number 86 in motion. Here's Ivory. A little stutter step. And then Cam Jordan gives him a hit after a 3-yard gain.
So critical, Kevin. You're down here now. You're playing Drew Brees and the Saints. They're going to score their points. You got to have touchdowns. Field goals will not do it. You got to pump it into the end zone with touchdowns. Pay off that great run by Chris Ivory.
So Jeremy Curley going to the locker room. There's no Santonio Holmes today. There's no Jeff Cumberland today. I mean, the Jets are so thin at wide receiver. Greg Salas is now in. 3rd-year man out of Hawaii, number 17. He's in the slot. Top of your screen. 2nd and 7. It's Bilal Powell rushing hard. And he has, I believe, a first down to the 5. And the Jets getting the ground game going against New Orleans.
Familiar sight in the middle. It's John Vilma playing defense, his 2nd play of the game. But that's good push from the Jets offensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage, and these backs are finding the creases and making big yards, falling forward.
But they mark Powell just short. It'll be a 3rd and inches just outside the 5-yard line. A sneak by Geno Smith. He's got it. 1st and goal for the Jets.
Kevin, we've talked about the Saints being without the services of Marcus Colston. Remember, the New York Jets with Curley out, Cumberland, a favorite target of Geno Smith, out. So he doesn't have too many options out here that he's accustomed to working with. I'd continue to pound the ball. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. Keep doing it until the Saints stop it.
And what Geno Smith does have are his legs. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns this year. Ivory. And he surges forward. But the Saints bunch it up. Broderick Bunkley was there first. It's a gain of about 1.5. It's Jeremy Curley, and he gets bent backwards and kind of flipped. Let's see. Oh boy, look at his left wrist. Oh, didn't look good. His left wrist went in a way it's not supposed to go, so he's out. 2nd and goal. This drive started on the Jets' own 4. Play fake. Pressure coming. Smith looking for Sudfeld, too far in front. And it'll bring up a 3rd and goal.
They're running the ball successfully. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, but Rob Ryan knows that. So he's putting everybody except the guys in coverage up there, stacking the line of scrimmage, daring them to throw. They go for the play action. Good coverage by Paris Harrelson, the outside linebacker veteran for the New Orleans Saints.
This is the 10th play of the drive. It started out on the Jets' own 4-yard line, 3rd and goal. Smith looking, throwing way out of the end zone. That one had no chance. Greg Salas was, I guess, the intended receiver, but that one had no shot, and the Jets will try a field goal.
He's looking for David Nelson right there in the slot. Kenny Vaccaro with excellent coverage. So his second read goes to the back of the end zone, and Greg Salas, Keenan Robinson all over him. Can't cover him any better. Geno Smith has nothing to do but throw it away. Smart play by the rookie.
Well, maybe Smith might try to run that one, but instead it's Folk from 21 yards out. The hole from Quigley, and Nick Folk hits the field goal, so the Jets get within 1. The Jets had the running game going, but they got away from it when they got down near the end zone. Saints D gets a win, and they lead it by 1. That is definitely not rush hour in the New York City subway, I can tell you that. Jets had rush hour, John, but they went away from it.
Well, watch where Kenny Vaccaro. Talk about the things that win football games. Nothing like old-fashioned hustle. On the other side of the formation, he tracks Chris Ivory down, gets him out of bounds. They live to see another down. They keep him out of the end zone. Kenny Vaccaro playing excellent football. And what tremendous hustle by Vaccaro on that play.
The Jets had a nice drive there. I mean, they put together an 11-play, 93-yard drive, but again, get a field goal, so they still trail it by 1. And now Folk will kick it off to Cadet. And he'll take a knee. Again, if you just tuned in, Darren Sproles left the game, concussion testing, still not back. Saints football and their 1-point lead here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, earlier during the timeout, this is Sean Payton and his gang of eligibles. They all surround Sean. He holds them, trying to get Rex Ryan to not know who's coming on the field. He finally unleashes the hounds, and there they come. But every time, every little bit of advantage is what Sean Payton's looking for right there. You hold them right to the very end, then you make them match you.
Saints up 7-6, 10:04 to go first half. It's Breeze on a play fake with a lot of time. Airs it out. Meacham is wide open. He's got it. Meacham breaks through 1 tackle, but finally gets taken down at the 19. Now ball comes loose. And Meacham is down. Robert Meacham, the speedster, with the bomb from Breeze, 61 yards.
He's working plain one-on-one coverage. You see the feet get tangled up with Antonio Cromartie. Drew Brees will not miss an open receiver like that. Robert Meacham brings it in. Meacham, the longtime Saint, went off for a free agent contract in San Diego. Didn't work out there. One man's trash is another's treasure. The Saints knew about Robert Meacham, brought him back, and it's paying dividends for them.
Now the handoff going to the fullback. It's Jed Collins this time, and Collins gets a rare chance to carry the ball. You know, you look at the Bengals game against the Jets last week, and they went vertical all day long. And what did Drew Brees tell us? If they're going to get aggressive, we're going to be aggressive.
He said that's exactly how you counter that aggressive nature of them. He said we're throwing shots. Rex Ryan knew it was critical. He said we got to keep the ball in front of us. The ball's going over their heads right now.
Ingram is the tailback now on a 2nd and 3. And the give goes to Mark Ingram, and he gets down to the 10. Former Heisman winner from Alabama has been plagued with toe injuries the last couple of years, and getting a chance back in. He's been inactive since week 2 because of a toe injury.
So fascinating watching the Saints offense operate. Every play, 4 new people on, 4 players off, constant substitution, constant changing of packages. And really what Sean Payton does as a play caller so well, he highlights the skills of his players. He finds what they do well, and he puts them in position to succeed, and he's got a wonderful quarterback to spread the ball around.
1st and goal. Brees looking, pressure in the face, and throws it incomplete. Calvin Pace providing pressure initially. And here's some more personnel. You know, and you showed it, that huddle. And, you know, the thing about that is Brees told us, you know, every week we build things into the game plan for everyone. And so they think today could be my day. If you get open, you have an opportunity to make plays. I mean, 10 different receivers caught balls from the last week.
And it really creates a good vibe in the locker room because everyone feels like they're part of the game plan each and every week. Brilliant by Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
6 different receivers have caught passes from Brees today. 2nd and goal. Looking end zone. Graham! Touchdown, New Orleans! And the slam.
That's now the 10th time this season that Jimmy Graham has slammed the football. 10th touchdown. And that play right there, that's all about trust. He's covered well by Cromartie, but it's using that big basketball body. This is like Jimmy Graham boxing out, going for a rebound in basketball, uses his backside to shield Cromartie. Beautiful ball placement by Drew Brees. That's tough to defend.
Hartley's extra point is good. So think about this. The Jets labor. They go on this 11-play drive, 93 yards. They settle for a field goal. Saints get it back. They go 5 plays, 80 yards. Slam it home with the touchdown.
Kevin, I don't think he's flustered anymore.
Nope. John, I would agree. Brees, happy. Geno Smith, not so much. Okay. Jimmy Graham, I guess the plantar fascia, which was partially torn in his foot, is just fine because the elevation of the dunk was just fine. The 5-play 80-yard drive. And the form, the dunking form, I believe, is a little higher this week than it was last week, which would tell me that the foot is fine. And I don't know how in the world you're supposed to cover him. I really don't. I mean, he's got a 51-yard touchdown catch today. That was from 10. He's got 10 touchdown catches. That leads the NFL. Here's Josh Cribbs to return the kick. Cribbs has some room to the 30. Good return, Josh Cribbs. He's out to the 38-yard line for the Jets. Joe Klatt has our game break.
That's right, Kevin, and we take you to Dallas. Christian Ponder, 6-yard touchdown run, his 4th rushing TD of the season. That leads the league among quarterbacks. 10-6 Vikings in Dallas. Kevin.
Little Lions hangover last week from the Cowboys, maybe. That was a tough loss, and now the Vikings shocking them in Big D.
Kevin, I keep pounding Chris Ivory. He's had great success each time he's touched the football. Keep pounding him.
Going to throw it in the face of the blitz, and they've got Bohannon with room in the flat, and he's got a jet. First down.
What you do when you run the ball effectively, you set up the play action. They sell out to stop the run. You fake it to Chris Ivory, use him as a decoy, and get out to Tommy Bohannon in the flat.
Ivory goes out for a moment. You're talking about running the ball. We know the Jets do that well, but here's, I think, when you look at the Saints, their D has been very good this year overall, but that's a weakness. 4.8 yards against. That's last in the league. Try to get the Saints to jump. It's Powell. There is a flag. Maybe they did jump. Hard snap count by Geno Smith as Powell gets a yard. But I think they're going to get 5 on the penalty.
Offside. Defense, number 93. It's in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's on Junior Galette, the linebacker.
That's something that you're seeing from quarterbacks more and more in the National Football League. The hard count from the shotgun. Hard for them to do from the shotgun. But Junior Galette falls for the veteran trick from the rookie quarterback in Geno Smith.
Lieutenant! Hey, stay right here. Let's go. Hey, black all bricks! Black all bricks!
Play clock at 3. And they get it off to Ivory. Hits the holes hard and gets 2 yards moving forward.
Well, this is the life of a safety in the National Football League. You got to take on the big boys. And it's funny saying it, Kev, but boy, do I miss it.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't even find Vaccaro. Willie Colon, the longtime Steeler, just
engulfed him.
Yeah, that's a good word. I was looking for it. Thanks. 2nd and 3. Pressure coming for Carroll on the blitz. Nelson is wide open for the Jets. David Nelson gets down to the 24. Geno Smith saw the blitz and picked it apart. Keenan Lewis on the tackle, but the Jets have a gain of 14 and a first down.
We've seen tight coverage from the New Orleans Saints. So what do? You run some traffic to free him up. That's exactly what they do with Nelson. They bring him underneath, but great blitz pickup by Chris Ivory, taking out the legs of Harrelson coming on the blitz.
Jets on the move. Vaccaro just went out of the game. 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 24. As Smith gets in the pistol formation. Give to Ivory, who fights forward through a tackle from Hawthorne. Lofton will bring him down, but not until the 20. He's going to pick up 4 yards. And you look at this Jet offense now. Jeremy Curley, we're told, will not return to this game. He's out with an elbow injury, and there's now another safety hurt for New Orleans and Vaccaro.
Remember, they came into this game without the services of Malcolm Jenkins. Now Vaccaro goes out.
Roman Harper out too.
Who's in? That's correct.
Saints on their 4th and 5th string safeties. Issa Abdul-Quddus, number 42, a Fordham graduate. And a fake, it goes to Cribbs. Gets a block from Ferguson. And Cribbs has a first down. So Josh Cribbs is playing a role today. He's got a completed pass out of the Wildcat, and that time picks up the first with his legs.
It's only game 3 for Josh Cribbs as a member of the New York Jets. Marty Mordenwig said, we're going to expand his package each and every week. Good block by Bohannon and D'Brickashaw Ferguson, the punt returner and kick returner, and Josh Cribbs comes out. Get the ball to him in space, and he'll make good things happen.
You're going to need him with all the injuries. That's Malcolm Jenkins, the injured Saints safety. Here's Ivory. Ivory still on his feet, and it takes a swarm of Saints to bring him down. That was a hard-working couple yards for Chris Ivory. Junior Galette was the first to get there after a 4-yard gain.
Well, the New Orleans Saints know, because he once was a Saint. But this is what Chris Ivory, he's an incredibly physical runner. And to me, I've been on teams with guys like that in Tampa with Mike Allstott. That lifts an entire team when you're running through tackles, not just the offense. That lifts the defense. The defense starts watching it, getting inspired by play like that.
Ivory's got 8 carries for 91 yards already today against Rob Ryan's defense. It'll be a 2nd and 6. Jonathan Veltman in on the down. Smith going to take it and run. Looking for a cut to the end zone. He gets stopped shy of a first down. Lofton came over to make the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd.
We're trying to pop some of these play action passes, and the Saints are doing a very good job of their coverage. See Ruland out there, but covered by Raphael Bush, and Geno Smith this time goes and gets the positive yards.
Somehow, John, I like to think that when he was at West Virginia, he probably scored that play. A little different, the speed in the NFL, and now a big 3rd and 2. Give it to Ivory. He walks in. Touchdown, Jets.
Credit Willie Colon, the right guard, and Austin Howard, the right tackle. That's a big alley right there. You give that to Chris Ivory, he's going to run through some tackles and do the rest. Great execution by the New York Jets on that offensive drive.
That's the first touchdown as a Jet by Chris Ivory, who now has 94 yards rushing in this first half. The ground game is working for New York. Big day for the former Saint, Chris Ivory, with 2:39 to go in the half. He's got the Jets back within one at MetLife Stadium. Chris Ivory has been begging to be an every down back. He just scored his first touchdown as a Jet, 9th career touchdown, and he's having a half against his former team, already 94 yards on the ground.
I think a high correlation between success with the New York Jets offense and using Chris Ivory against New England. 34 carries, 104 yards. He wears out a defense. He runs through, such a physical runner.
And so the Saints lead trimmed to 1 with 2:39 to go first half. Tavares Cadet will take it, drop it a few yards deep, and now take a knee. And the Saints will take over on their own 20. Fox tomorrow, the Horseman returns to America's favorite new drama. Critics rave it's TV's craziest, most over-the-top, mercilessly fun new show. Don't miss an all-new Sleepy Hollow tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox. And so the Saints have the football with a 1-point lead, 2:39 to go first half, no timeouts. They used all 3 timeouts in the first quarter, if you just tuned in. Breeze on a 4-man rush hits Thomas over the middle, and Pierre Thomas falls forward to the 31. He's got a first down. Game break. Joe Klatt's got it.
All right, thanks, Kevin. And we go to Carolina, where Matt Ryan trying to get back in this ball game to Tony Gonzalez. 17-yard touchdown catch, 4th TD of the season. 14-10 Panthers. Kevin.
Joe, they needed that. Here are the Saints on a 1st and 10. Near side, Nick Toon up in the air. Cromartie reset in bounds. Yes! Antonio Cromartie picks it off.
See if Antonio Cromartie gets 2 feet in. When does he have control of the ball? Control right now. 1 foot down, drags the right foot. I believe that will stand.
It doesn't matter. The Saints can't challenge. They have no timeouts.
That's right.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
It's a Jets
foot
ball.
down, drags the toe. Wouldn't have mattered anyways.
There's 2:12 left. He only goes upstairs with 2 minutes. Jets football. It's all that matters. And Nick Toon coming to the homecoming where his father used to star. That's the thing. Now it's a turnover. They'll look at it here like they always do with a turnover. I should say that. But he's in. Perfect shot, guys. He's in.
I think he says 1 foot, or yeah, that sounds right.
Maybe. Jets now with 2:12 left in the half. Great field position on the 39. It is Ivory again. And that time Ivory goes nowhere. The Saints were ready. It was Akeem Hicks and Curtis Lofton. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning in New Jersey. Jets have all 3 timeouts left and a good field goal kicker in Nick Folk. As we've hit the 2-minute break at MetLife Stadium. Saints and Jets. Saints team trying to hold Geno Smith off the board to end this first half. 2 minutes left in the first half. Jets have the football, trailing the Saints by 1. All 3 timeouts, and a 2nd and 11 at the New Orleans 39. Geno Smith sends it out to Greg Salas. Makes a nice move, and he's got a first down for the Jets. Down to the 27-yard line. It's a 12-yard gain to Salas.
Salas is going to have to come up big for the New York Jets. Antonio Holmes came into the game unhealthy. Jeremy Curley has gone off. Wildcat again for Josh Cribbs and the New York Jets.
Remember, Cribbs threw one earlier out of this formation. Here looking to run it. And Cribbs going to move forward just inside the 25-yard line. Curtis Lofton was there after a 3-yard gain. John, how about the Jets defense? They came in today with only 3 interceptions all year long. They've gotten Drew Brees twice.
And the last one, they really got Nick Toon because that ball's a catchable ball. Drew Brees put it on him, deflection, but they all count. And the Jets are doing a good job of getting after him.
54 seconds to go in this first half. Blitz coming. Smith gets it ridden. Sudfeld to the 10. And he's out of bounds. Zach Sudfeld out of bounds right around the 4-yard line. Jets have a 1st and goal after a 20-yard gain.
This league is all about making the most of your opportunities. We saw Greg Salas previously on this drive. This time it's Sudfeld, cut by the New England Patriots. He gets his opportunity with Jeff Cumberland hurt. Kellen Winslow on suspension. They need someone to step up at tight end. Zach Sudfeld doing a good job of it.
They're going to mark this ball at the 3 with 42 seconds left, but the Jets have all 3 timeouts. They could run it every play if they want. Chris Ivory is the back. Play clock at 1, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to burn a timeout there. Well, the Jets take their first time out of the half, knocking on the door to take the lead when we come back. Coming up at the Visa halftime report, the Bills looking to take down the unbeaten 8-0 Kansas City Chiefs, and then the Titans, who have played some close ball games, looking to stop their 3-game skid. 42 seconds left in the half. 1st and goal, Jets. 2 timeouts left. Smith keeps. Nice move. Touchdown. Jets in front.
Chris Ivory near 100 yards for the Jets. The attention goes to him. Geno Smith reads Cam Jordan and then stop on a dime, get the ball downhill. Geno Smith, a dual threat at quarterback. He takes advantage of it against the bigger defensive end. Geno Smith and the Jets, resilient football team.
3rd rushing touchdown of the year for Geno Smith. Jets capitalize on Antonio Cromartie's interception. They drive 5 plays, 39 yards. They're in front of the Saints 20-14 with 37 seconds to go in the first half. We're back to see the scoring drive. Geno Smith with the run from 3 yards out. Antonio Cromartie with the interception set it up. 2nd interception the Jets have gotten off of Drew Brees today. Now the Saints will get it back. 37 seconds to go in the half, but they've got no timeouts. And Brees came in with 5 interceptions all year long.
Kevin, you got to credit Rex Ryan, I really believe, the resiliency of this football team. He's playing with a young football team. We talked about in the open, 5 rookie starters. You're facing a guy like Drew Brees. Looked like they were buried early in this game, coming off a drubbing against the Cincinnati Bengals. They keep fighting, and they found themselves up ahead of the New Orleans Saints.
Nick Folk will kick it off to Travaris Cadet. Bobbles again. He'll take a knee, and the Saints on their own 20 with 37 seconds to go in the half and no timeouts. Antonio Cromartie, it's amazing what a couple series of difference can make.
There's a couple plays. He trips up feet with Robert Meacham, gets beat deep. And then this one, I'm sorry, Antonio. Jimmy Graham does this to a lot of people. But then you keep playing. We talk about resilient football teams, football players. Go get yourself a chip ball for an interception. That sets up a touchdown. Sends your team to half up ahead.
Saints are going to take a knee, and this Jets crowd liking what they see. The 6-1 Saints find themselves trailing the 4-4 Jets, 20-14. Jets in front as we end the first half at MetLife Stadium. NFL on Fox continues. The Visa halftime report coming right up after this. It's the Jets in front of the Saints, 20-14 at MetLife Stadium as we get set to start quarter number 3. Reminder, you can follow your favorite team all season long. Just go to itunes.com/NFL. So the Saints have a couple touchdowns from Jimmy Graham, but the Jets found something. It's called the running game.
Absolutely. They're exposing the one Achilles heel of this Saints defense, running the football. It's been Chris Ivory near 100 yards, 126 yards rushing in total. That's how the Jets want to play, with a rookie quarterback. And for Drew Brees on the other end, he's had success with the deep ball down the field. If the Jets can keep it in front of them, remember, you're without Colston. Sproles went out with an injury. It's going to be hard for them to just move it slowly down the field. The big play is key in this second half of the Saints offense.
You know, they also, Nick Toon dropped the ball. Could have been a touchdown, tipped one up that Cromartie intercepted. You look at the first half numbers, they really evened out. The Jets at one point were getting dominated there, but the run game kind of evened that out. And injury is clearly a factor. Sproles out, hasn't returned for the Saints. Jeremy Curley, the Jets' leading receiver, out with an elbow. He's not coming back either. So those will be factors in this second half. As we take a look at a couple more numbers for you. Drew Brees getting set to go. Rob Ryan on the left, the Saints defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan on the right. The Jets head coach and Buddy Ryan, their father, in attendance today. The legendary former coach in this league, architect of the '85 Bears defense, watching along as the Jets will get the ball to start the second half. It's Cribbs works his way across the 20 to the 21. That's where the Jets will start. Let's go down on the field with Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. I talked to Sean Payton at the half, and he told me that running back Darren Sproles is out for the rest of the game with a concussion. With that happening, he said that Travaris Cadet will see an expanded role, but it will limit what they do offensively. He said in the first half he was most disappointed with turnovers, and avoiding takeaways is going to be crucial to getting this game back in their favor. Kevin?
That's a good point, because the Saints came in at a +8 on the year in the turnover battle. That was good for 4th in the league. Jets start on their own 21, and it's Chris Ivory who slips and falls.
You know, Kevin, we said in the open, when Geno Smith protects the football, the Jets typically win. Chris Ivory goes down over Willie Cologne's leg, but because of Akeem Hicks controlling the line of scrimmage, something they didn't get done in the first half. But this is the game plan. This is how the Jets offense wants to play. Only 13 attempts for Geno Smith, protecting the football. You mentioned it, the Saints turnover margin coming in very positive. The Jets was not.
Jets will give it to Powell. It's Curtis Lofton on the stop, and especially with Curley out, no Santonio Holmes today, no Jeff Cumberland today, and the Jets, you'd have to think they'll stay with this strategy. It's funny, you're talking about Geno Smith and, you know, how he goes. The Jets kind of go. What did Marty Morningweg tell us during the week? He said, I used to tell Steve Young, if you play good, we'll win. Good formula.
Not just with the rookie quarterback, that's with any quarterback, and now more than ever in such a quarterback-driven league.
You saw number 17, Greg Salas. He is the 6th wideout on the Jets depth chart, but with the injuries, he could play a big factor here. 3rd and 10. We're going to throw it to Salas. Makes his second catch. Greg Salas turned on the afterburners with a big-time game. Issa Abdul-Quddus makes the tackle that saved the touchdown, but a 44-yarder to Salas.
Well, we talked about it, making the most of opportunities. Curley goes out. Salas gets his opportunity. Outstanding block by DeBrickashaw Ferguson on Kenny Vaccaro. That opens the lane, and Greg Salas straight downhill. Big yardage for Salas and the Jets.
3rd year out of Hawaii, the former Ram. You just don't know when you're going to get pressed into duty, and he's had a couple big catches. 1st and 10. Set up a middle screen, and Powell ran before he decided to catch it. It's incomplete.
There's that turnover differential we talked about. It was a strength of the Saints, not so much. Difference of 20 between the Jets and the Saints, but today, different story. 2 turnovers for New Orleans and Drew Brees. The Jets have 0.
Jets bring on an extra blocker, Vladimir Dukas, number 62. He's lined up on your left side. The 2nd and 10. It's a fake. Time for Smith, bearing it into heavy traffic, incomplete. That was dangerous. I mean, there were 3 Saints right there. We've got a game break. Joe Klatt has it for us.
Yeah, Kevin, Buffalo playing very well, looking to take a 17-3 lead, but no. Sean Smith intercepts Jeff Toole, making his first start. The undrafted free agent takes it back 100 yards for the score. 10-10 in Buffalo. Kevin and John.
Wow. Tough to get more deflating than that, John.
This is there's double coverage and there's triple coverage. There's 3 people there for the Saints. Not a good decision by Geno Smith. He gets away with one, but it sets up a 3rd and 10.
That works if you have Calvin Johnson, no one else. Heavy pressure. Smith gonna take off and run. Nice moves, and he tackled just shy, but that run gets him in field goal range. Hawthorne on the tackle to save a 1st down, but that will allow Nick Folk a field goal opportunity.
Really don't like that sequence right there on that set of downs. Chris Ivory, we talked about him and this Jets offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. You come out, throw it twice, it sets up a 3rd and 10. When you're running the ball effectively, stay with it. Stay with what brought you here. And the run game and controlling the line of scrimmage is what has the Jets ahead right now.
Nick Folk is 2 for 2 today. This one from 48 yards out. Snap and hold are good, and Folk good again. 22 of 22 on the year for Nick Folk. The guy is muddy, and it extends the Jet lead to 9 points. Folk's been Mr. Automatic. It's 23-14. Jets lead the Saints. That field goal clearing from Nick Folk. He's 22 of 22 on the year. 3 for 3 today. And the Jets have a 23-14 lead over the Saints. Greg Salas with the big play, a 44-yard catch and run, mostly run, that put the Jets in Saints territory. Now a 9-point lead with Folk kicking off. Again, as Travaris Cadet, the injured Darren Sproles out with a concussion, not coming back. Cadet stumbles and gets taken down before the 20-yard line. Is coming in was Nick Bellore to make the tackle.
See the offensive leaders. It's been Meacham and it's been Jimmy Graham, but you can't underscore enough and underestimate the loss of Darren Sproles. Kevin, you just mentioned it. Not only is he a weapon on offense, a matchup nightmare in special teams, he's so critical to the Saints' success. Really hurting without Darren Sproles, along with Marcus Colston being out.
Breeze on the fake to Thomas, going to go Lance Moore on the far side. Dean Milliner will make the stop, as Moore is going to pick up about 5 yards.
There you go, D. Milner. You struggled last week, but there's always the next week. Your coach showed some faith in you. Go make him proud. And with plays like that, hits like that, Rex Ryan will be proud of the young man.
This time they give it to Thomas, and he's up the gut for a 1st down. 6-yard gain to Thomas. And the Saints, they're not a big running team anyway, but they only have 15 yards rushing until that gain by Thomas.
And I think Sean Payton knows right now they're getting beat in the time of possession game. And you've got to put the ball on the ground a little bit. Coming into today, that's something they had excelled at. You see 2nd in the league today, 19 minutes and change for the Jets, only 14 and change for the Saints.
On a 1st down, Breeze lofting it for Graham. Good coverage. David Harris was all over it. Incomplete.
I can tell you one thing right there. Sometimes you go into halftime if you're Jimmy Graham and you've got that foot. You see him kind of jogging back with a little limp. His gait didn't look right on that play. He looked like he's ginger on that foot. Sometimes the halftime can be your worst friend because you go down, it cools up, it tightens up. He's got that plantar fascia in his foot that's partially torn. When that thing tightens up and it's a little cold outside, it hurts.
5 targets for Jimmy Graham, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns. That one not to be. It's a 2nd and 10. Breeze looking Graham again. He's wide open over the middle and falls forward near a 1st down. Calvin Pace was out to make the tackle. Looks to be a little bit shy. Even when he's not fully 100%, he is tough to stop.
Well, he's one of these new breed of tight ends that can get down the field. 10 touchdowns on the year, and then even when you have him covered, he's not covered. Drew Brees has the ultimate trust in Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham has earned that trust.
That's the play that just happened. Breeze over the middle to Graham. And that was good for a first down. Fake to Thomas. Blitz coming. Breeze in the face of that blitz. Incomplete. He just had to get it away. Heavy pressure that time. Sheldon Richardson was coming up the middle. You know, John, about Graham, I think everyone knows he's a college basketball player, but played one start, tight end in college. Here's the pressure.
You see the pressure by Sheldon Richardson coming around on the game. He's a guy that Rex Ryan is so excited about. He talks about his motor, how hard he plays, and the upside just being tremendous. Forget about upside. He's playing at a high level right now in my mind.
Jets have 9 hurries. They've hit Breeze 5 times today, so they've gotten the pressure. 2nd and 10, looking for Meacham. He's got it, and his momentum will take him out of bounds. Just across the 45-yard line. He's going to pick up about 5. D. Milliner was there on the coverage.
Circled the defensive front of the New York Jets before that last snap because that's what they present. They're going to put 6 or 7 up, acting as if they're coming, bluffing as if they're coming. It's just a matter of who is coming. And that's Drew Brees' challenge, this offensive line's challenge. Drew Brees, as good as anybody, finding the right protection for the right front.
Third and 5. Pressure again. Breeze sidesteps it. Fires. Graham can make the play. Antonio Allen was there to help knock it away, and the Saints will have to punt.
See Drew Brees again. So good at working the pocket, finding the open space. Antonio Allen, this is the guy I think they should have on him in coverage. He played Rob Gronkowski and played him as well as anyone I have seen this year. In Rob Gronkowski's career. He has a knack for playing these tight ends. They got him on him right now.
Morstead will try to drop one inside the 20. He's done it 13 times this year, and that one will go out of bounds right around the 20. You see where the official marks it on that bounce. Just before the 20-yard line, that's where the Jets and Geno Smith will take over. Graham couldn't corral this one. Good coverage by Allen. Little frustration on the Saints against this Jets defense. 8:47 to go, quarter number 3 from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Jets 23, Saints 14. Jets have found the run game. They did that in the second quarter, and it's been working. They've got themselves a 9-point lead as they're going to run a little keeper for Geno Smith. And Smith tries to get out to the edge. And he's going to work his way out near the 24. Curtis Lofton on the stop. Will give 5 to Geno Smith.
People ask, they hear all this terminology, the pistol formation. There was a great example of it. That was the pistol formation, and you've got the dual threat of Geno Smith. You fake it to Powell, and then Geno uses his legs for positive yards. 4 yards on first down. That's a win for the Jets. I tell you, I don't think, and I can't emphasize enough, you can get away from Chris Ivory. He's the guy who's had the success. Downhill running. Can't get away from that. It was so successful in the first half.
91 yards rushing for Ivory. He gets it here. Patient run for Ivory, who gets out to the 25. It's going to bring him a 3rd down and 4.
We always hear about manageable 3rd down situations. 3rd and 4, extremely manageable. Marty Mornhinweg can look at that play sheet. There's a lot of options in 3rd and 4. 3rd and 10, not so many. See, Marty's got so many, he's trying to figure out which one do I go to. Heck of a lot better situation. And Rob Ryan now, the pressure's on him. 3rd and 4.
How about for the defensive coordinator, for Rob Ryan? What does that do to his options?
You go to man-to-man, and that's where you can do some crossing routes and things. So you can defense much more predictable in 3rd and short situations.
They bring Stephen Hill in motion. Blitz coming from the corner. Smith sees it, steps up, and gets hit and dropped. Smith tried to avoid the initial pressure, but Junior Gillette came in to make sure there was no forward progress, and the Jets will punt it away.
Rob Ryan, watch, he's going to bring Keenan Smith. And he's going to bring Jabari Greer off the slot, brings the pressure. It forces Geno Smith to step up, and there's Junior Gillette. Advantage to the Jets with the situation, but the Saints and Rob Ryan come out on top.
Quigley will punt. It's Lance Moore. Back deep. Good kick. It goes way out of bounds, though. We'll see where the spot is. They will put it at the 29-yard line. So Drew Brees has some work to do. His Saints trailing by 9, third quarter in New Jersey. The numbers for Drew Brees with 6:46 to go in the third quarter. His Saints, though, trailing the Jets 23-14. Jets have picked off Brees twice. Came in today with only 5 interceptions. Mark Ingram, the tailback. And he'll get it. And Ingram gets popped at the 30-yard line. Well, Drew Brees has always been a good quarterback, and he's taken it to a whole nother level with New Orleans. John, you played against him a lot when you were with the Broncos in that AFC West.
I did, and back then you really respected Drew Brees. Really good quarterback. Guy you respected. You knew you were going to have to come to work. But he became a Hall of Fame quarterback. He is going to the Hall of Fame, a champion quarterback, when he met that man, Sean Payton. When he came to New Orleans, they took it to another level. And Drew Brees now as good as anyone in this league.
On the fake to Ingram, Pace with the pressure. Brees rolling out, throwing deep for Meacham, underthrown, tipped, intercepted. Cromartie's got it. There's a flag, too, for Marty. Oh, he's got to tuck that ball away. He does, up to the 45, and taken down by Collins at the 47, but there are multiple flags on the field in the Jets secondary, so hang on.
That's usually in the place coming from the back judge of holding on the defense, illegal contact on the defense.
Holding defense, number 39. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch Antonio Allen. He's working on Josh Hill right there. Got a hold of him in clear view of the back judge. Good call. The Jets fans don't like it. Another tip pass for an interception by Cromartie, but all for naught because of the hold by Antonio Allen.
Certainly looks like. And so the Jets could have had their third pick, but instead the penalty nullifies that. 6 penalty on the Jets. Mark Ingram gets it again. Coming near side, has a hole. Ingram, good cut, first down. Nice run from Mark Ingram. He's out to the 49. He's going to pick up 14 on the run. We've got an injured Jet. Maybe Allen. It is Antonio Allen. Just had that penalty, but he's a big player. That's secondary, especially with the coverage on Graham. Jets send Antonio Allen for the injuries. Now up. That's good news. We'll be back in a moment. You came out and started the game with that same introduction, ripping the shirt off as well. And Antonio Allen, who's played so well the last couple weeks for the Jets, walking off under his own power after this.
Yeah, he and his fellow safety mate, DeJuan Landry, run into each other. Little jet-on-jet crime.
So he's out. Jaquan Jarrett is his replacement at safety. 1st and 10 for Drew Brees and the Saints at the 48. Goes for Jimmy Graham over the middle, and David Harris right there to lock him up. I want to go back to Drew Brees. You're talking about playing against him and the respect, John, that he had, but what changed him into a really good player to a Hall of Fame player?
He met Sean Payton. And look, and it's not just my opinion. The numbers dictate it. You see in San Diego, pretty darn good. Now you look at him with Sean Payton in New Orleans, unbelievable. Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Sean Payton and he brought out the best in each other. Drew Brees said, he asked me to bring everything I was comfortable with. He built a system around Drew Brees, and the rest has been history.
On a 2nd down, Brees is drilled, tipped, almost intercepted by Wilkerson, who had an acrobatic pick last week. But Brees got buried by Quentin Coples, and the Jets don't have a sack, but they've had major pressure all day.
Yes, they have. And Quentin Coples, one of the things Drew Brees does, he pumps and comes to the other side of the field as well as anyone. Well, when they pump, when you get on them that quick and make things like that happen, that's how you counteract that. Muhammad Wilkerson almost brings in his 2nd interception in 2 weeks.
This is the one last week. Play clock winding down to 2. And now time. The Saints had to call it. And so the Saints call their first timeout of this second half. Big third down for them coming up.
Well, you see the last play. Quentin Coples in the face of Drew Brees. You look at that and you just very fortunate that Drew Brees all right. And then I think you got to ask the question. You see Brees right here. Watch him shake that hand out. Is he all right with that right hand of his?
We're about to find out. 3rd and 6 coming up. Hang on. The ball came on the field from Morstead, the punter. John, you see no sacks, but they have gotten plenty of pressure on Drew Brees today.
The sacks are great, but the name of the game is disrupt the quarterback. They've done plenty of that.
Saints 2 of 5 on 3rd. Here comes everybody. Brees dumps off a screen to Thomas. Look at the room. Pierre Thomas beats the blitz and more. Big gain of Pierre Thomas. The Jets sent everybody, and Thomas is down to the 22. It's a 26-yard gain.
Watch this up here. They're all coming, and what a play call by Sean Payton. They got the pressure. What's the best way to counteract the pressure? Go with the screen pass, and Pierre Thomas does the rest. Tremendous by Sean Payton. And Drew Brees right there, he knows where he's going with the ball, but still holding the Jets defense with his eyes.
Hey, 84, Brees! 84! Hey,
Play clock down to 5 now.
You ready? What's up?
Pressure again, flags fly. This is in the area of holding. This Jets defensive line is just tough to handle. It really is, and it's not just for New Orleans.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Jahri Evans. But this front for the New York Jets, Wilkerson, Harrison, Coples, Sheldon Richardson, they bring it, and they force you to do things like that. We talked about 0 sacks on the day, but they've been disrupting. You see Jahri Evans, Sheldon Richardson just plowing through there, making him hold in an effort not to have him sack Drew Brees.
Ready? You ready? What's up?
On a 1st and 20, it's Brees. Down he goes! The Jets are coming. It's Muhammad Wilkerson with his 8th sack of the year. It's almost like the Sharks smell the blood in the water, John.
Well, watch Muhammad Wilkerson working against Ben Grubbs, the left guard. An athletic mismatch. This guy's 315 pounds with that athleticism, and you'll see at the end of the play. I think he knows where he's going. He's going to Hawaii at the end of the year. He's doing the hula dance. He knows he's going to the Pro Bowl.
Wilkerson, who grew up in Linden, New Jersey, 20 minutes away from here. Play clock down to 1. They get it up. Blitz coming. Brees sacked again. It's Calvin Pace. The ball's out, but the Saints get it. Graham has it. This Jets D is going berserk right now.
I tell you what, you've got a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're sacking him on back-to-back snaps. You're doing some good work. You see Calvin Pace. He's coming from right here, working against Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham, a great pass receiver, not so much as a blocker. And Calvin Pace exposes that and gets after Drew Brees.
What play you got for 3rd and 38?
Quick kick.
Brees gets it over the middle, and Graham catches, but is met immediately on the play by Jaquan Jarrett. Well shy of a first, and now in that area, what do you do? Good tackle by Jarrett, but you're down. It's a little too long for Hartley to kick a field goal. They're going to punt, I think. No, they're going to try a long field goal. They sent Hartley out. They're going to try a long field goal here by Garrett Hartley, whose long this year is 48 yards. This is a 55-yarder. Remember, Hartley has already missed one wide left from 43. They'll try it. It's on the way. And Garrett Hartley's got it. Wow. 55 yards officially from Garrett Hartley. And after facing a 3rd and 38, the Saints come away with big 3 points.
And Hartley, who's been struggling with his confidence, missed a field goal earlier, but Sean Payton shows the ultimate confidence. Go out there, kicked a 55-yarder, and Hartley delivers.
That's his career-long 55 yards. It was previously 53 yards. So Garrett Hartley, who'd been struggling, delivers a big field goal, and Breeze is happy as it gets the Saints within 6.
I'm watching that sequence. The punt team was going on the field. Sean Payton overruled it. He told Greg McMahon, we're kicking it. And Garrett Hartley, as I said, delivered in a big way.
Isn't that a fascinating call for a field goal kicker that had missed 3 of his last 4 field goals to try a career long in a place that usually has a pretty strong breeze in the fall?
Yeah. And why you make that decision, I don't know. But that's why Sean Payton. Fabulous coach.
On 3rd and 38, they go to Jimmy Graham, nowhere near the first down, but it gives them the opportunity for that. Circle that play late if the Saints somehow find a way to win this game. Short kick. Cribbs will take it on the 3. Josh Cribbs, pretty nice hit by Ramon Humbert. And the Jets will start it shy of their own 20. Good game today. You know, I mean, here you got the Saints are 6-1. You got the Jets are 4-4.
Look at Sean Payton. I want the kick team. Darn it, when I called for the kick team, give me the kick team. McMahon had sent the punt team out there. Sean Payton overrules, put Garrett Hartley out there. 3 points later, looks like a good decision.
Jets lead by 6. 1:40 to go, 3rd quarter. They get it to Cribbs. And Cribbs gets maybe a yard. Corey White was there. Saints sniffed that one out immediately.
Corey White's been a really good football player for the Saints this year. Kind of found him game 2 or 3 out there in the nickel and sub packages. Today getting more of a look with Malcolm Jenkins being out. And he's playing good, solid football for this Saints defense.
Like 5-7, single, D-spot.
The view of the coach as Sean Payton looks on. The 2nd down for the Jets is Powell. Nice bounce back move from Powell, who kept on churning. They're going to bring up a 3rd and short. We've got a game break with Kurt Menefee.
The Chiefs trying to stay unbeaten, tied with Buffalo. Pass completed from Jeff Toole to T.J. Graham, but Marcus Cooper, the kid out of Rutgers, strips him. Tamba Hali scores. 2nd defensive touchdown for the Chiefs today, and it gives them the lead in the 4th quarter. Kevin and John?
Well, Kurt, Bob Sutton, former Jets coach under Rex Ryan, has taken that magic out to Kansas City. And boy, has he done a job with that KC defense.
Jets with 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. They bring David Nelson in motion, number 86. Give to Ivory. Oh, he's got the 1st down and then some. Chris Ivory rumbling across midfield, and he drops the ball and comes loose at the end. But they're going to say he was down. Chris Ivory was down. A 29-yard run. Ivory's over 100 yards, making 122 yards against his former team.
And really, it sounds simple, but he's having that much success. Keep giving it to him. They get away from him from time to time, but he's running the ball with great effectiveness today. Stick with the man.
Sean Payton was looking at this play, and Ivory looks like he is down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter from MetLife Stadium. It's the Jets 23, the Saints 17. Geno Smith and the Jets in the lead. NFL on Fox coming back against his twin brother Rob Ryan's Saints defense. Jets by 6. We start the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 for New York at the Saint 43. Chris Ivory has had himself a day against his former team. Another big run for Ivory. Kenny Vaccaro comes up to make the hit, but Ivory has himself a 1st down. It's a gain of 10.
Well, the irony today, typically it's Chris Ivory who's a downhill runner. He's showing tremendous patience, getting to the perimeter of the Saints D, and then finishing runs with great authority. Rob Ryan thinks there's a hold. There's always a hold if you're the defensive coordinator, but they're running it right down the Saints' throat.
Chris Ivory with 134 yards rushing. Keep giving it to him. Why not? This time it's short gain, about 1. Paris Harrelson was there. Chris Ivory's career high, by the way, 158 yards, but he's approaching that. Of course, he did that with New Orleans. This is his first year with the Jets. He'll get a little breather.
I think a critical sequence in this game. The Jets want to do everything they can to make this a 2-possession game, knowing you have Drew Brees on that other side.
Here's Powell. Nice cut by Powell. First down. Powell still on his feet inside the 15. Late penalty flag. Now let's see what the flag is. Nice run by Bilal Powell.
Holding. Offense. 67. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Rob's been clamoring for that holding. Where is it? There it is. Brian Winters, the rookie, the culprit.
Well, watch Brian Winters right here, the rookie from Kent State. He has a handful of jersey inside, but he is holding. Rex Ryan says, what? These Ryan brothers, great expressions, great emotion.
You could do a whole game and just show their faces the entire game and be entertained.
That's good stuff.
But that penalty knocks the Jets out of Nick Folk field goal range now. 2nd and 19. Bilal Powell. Good hold. Good cut again for Powell. 35. And he dives back in front near the original line of scrimmage. Jabari Greer on the stop. Again, a good cut by Powell. He picked up 9 yards.
Now you set up a 3rd and 10. An injured Saint on the field.
Curtis Lofton, their inside linebacker, injured right now. They ran the New York Marathon today throughout the 5 boroughs. Those are the folks that are definitely not in the marathon. They'd be exhausted by now. And this game has felt like a marathon. It's been fun. Jets at 4-4, Saints at 6-1. And a big 3rd and 10 with 12:47 to go. Jets within field goal range right now for Nick Folk. It's about a 50-yarder as it stands. Josh Cribbs in the game, bottom of your screen. It's Ivory bursting up the middle. And Chris Ivory is going to be shy of a first down, but that clearly makes it an attainable field goal for Nick Folk. It's a 5-yard gain. Tom Johnson on the tackle, and here comes Folk, who's already 3 for 3 today.
Probably a lot of frustrated fans out there. I believe that's the right call, though. You want to make this a 2-score game. Trust your defense a little bit. Get more positive yards for Nick Folk, who've been pretty darn good. Actually perfect this season.
This will be a 45-yard try for Nick Folk. Ryan Quigley, the holder. Snap and holder down. Folk. Automatic. 45-yard field goal for Nick Folk. And it's a big one. It puts the Jets up once again by 9. Under 12 minutes to go from MetLife Stadium. The Jets in front of the Saints.
Well, Kevin, when you're 23 of 23 on the season, you know when it's good. And Nick Folk, he doesn't have to wait long. He turns to Quigley right after he kicks it. He's in that zone right now. As soon as he kicks it, he knows it's good.
What he has meant to the Jets is hard to explain. I mean, he's 4 for 4 on game-winning field goals this year. He's 4 for 4 today. His personal best is 5 in a game. The guy has been incredible when he puts the Jets up by 9 and kicks it off here to Cadet. Travaris Cadet looking for some room up across the 22-yard line. The Saints will take over there, trailing by 2 scores. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, join Jay and Dan. They recap all of today's action from across the NFL, updated BCS rankings for college football, and news highlights from the opening weekend of the NBA. Don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Find Fox Sports 1 on your provider. Go to foxsports1.com right now. That's Curtis Lofton, went off the last series for the Saints. Right now on offense, it's up to Drew Brees with Pierre Thomas in the backfield. They set it up to Thomas in the flat. And he puts the head down. He's up to the 27. A 5-yard gain. Well, this has been a big factor today.
It has, and that last ball normally would have gone to Darren Sproles. Well, here's why Darren Sproles is out. Antonio Allen comes and lays the wood on Darren Sproles. We have not seen Sproles since, and what a miss for the New Orleans Saints. Special teams, offense. The Saints dearly missing Darren Sproles along with Marcus Colston, one of Drew Brees' favorite targets.
Here's Pierre Thomas running right up the middle. He's got a first down out to the 36. It's a 9-yard run for Thomas. Cromartie and Wilkerson on the tackles. Jets defense has played exceptionally well. Constant pressure, 2 interceptions. Drew Brees.
Easy. Hey, stay smarter. Stay smarter. Back 2, ready. Ready, my shot.
Again, the run to Thomas. And he surges forward to the 41. 5-yard gain for Thomas. Saints going to the ground a little bit here.
And you're seeing what the New York Jets have done. Remember, in the first half, the ball over their head. They're playing 2 safeties deep right now, not putting themselves in those man-to-man situations, content with playing zone and making Drew Brees grind these drives out. They don't believe he can without the services of Darren Sproles and Marcus Colston.
Thomas bunched up, nowhere to go. Damon Harrison clogging up the middle in a big way, and it's a 3rd down coming up.
Well, they call him Snacks because he likes to eat, and he likes to eat running backs as well. There's Snacks working right over the nose. It sounds like a nickname for a nose guard. Snacks, great hustle, not content with just plugging the hole. Go make the finish and go get a little rest.
Third and 6, low snap, blitz coming, Brees hit as he throws. It's caught and Brees is hurt. No, it's incomplete and there's a flag. That was a low shot on Drew Brees. Josh Bush is the culprit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 32, low hit on the quarterback. 15 yards, automatic first down.
See Josh Bush coming in. Getting a low hit, I don't think that's right.
You know what?
That's supposed to be below the knees, and I get it, it's Drew Brees. Where are you supposed to hit him? You can't hit him high. It's supposed to be between the knee, below the knees. That's right to the thigh. That's a good legal hit, and that's a bad call by Clete Blakeman.
That's brutal. I mean, you know, you're telling him you can't hit high, and now you can't hit there.
That's a horrible call. Above the knees. Bad call in a critical situation.
I mean, it gets the Saints to drive to continue in 15 yards. They were going to punt. Now on a first down, Brees, pressure again, wobbly pass, almost intercepted. Almost picked off. DeJuan Landry, who got his hands on one to cause an interception earlier. There's a flag, 2 at the line of scrimmage.
Look at use of hands. Hands to the face. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's on Ben Grubbs, the left guard.
Oh, geez. So now Jimmy Graham's out. Remember, Marcus Colston didn't play in today's game. Darren Sproles out. Now Jimmy Graham, your top 3 targets are not on the field. There's the hands to the face on Muhammad Wilkerson. Ben Grubbs, the left guard. There's the hit on Jimmy Graham. Making a play on the ball is DeJuan Landry. Jimmy Graham comes up with an injury to that left elbow.
Man. They set up a screen and Thomas gets a block across midfield, still working. And Thomas gets back to the original line of scrimmage, going to pick up almost 10 yards. Mike Pereira joins us from LA. Mike, what about that call on the penalty against Brees?
Well, the rule actually states that you can't have forcible contact in the knee area. And to me, when you look at this, here is a shoulder pad well above the knee. And that's not what they're looking for in order to try to protect what is deemed to be a defenseless player here. It needs to be lower, and in my opinion, that should not have been called.
Second down, Breeze unloads near side. It's Lance Moore. He's got the catch right at the first down marker. He should have it. Kyle Wilson on the coverage and the tackle. I think he's got a first down, but they spotted a little bit shy. May measure here.
Looks like a good spot. They have it right where it should be. Whether it's enough or not, we shall see.
Let's see, caught it. Certainly the ball is behind the line. He reaches out. Yeah, I think that is a good spot, but they will measure. They bring the chains in from the far side of the field. And it is a hair shy. It's a good tackle by Kyle Wilson. And so with 8:12 to go, Jets up by 9. The Saints will have a 3rd and inches just outside the Jet 35.
This Jets D, their defensive front, has had a knack this season for 3rd and short, 4th and short situations. A lot of big boys in the middle there that play with some anger.
Mark Ingram is the tailback. They give it to the fullback, and he falls forward for a first. Nope, this one's not going to count. Jets called a timeout. That play is not going to count. The Jets called the timeout for it got off, I do believe. At least that was the signal from the far side of the field.
The Saints lamenting that fact because they had a first down with Jed Collins right there.
And so they'll do a 3rd and inches one more time. Big play when we come back.
Well, there's the 10 guys on the field. That's why they called the timeout. And now they get another shot at stopping the New Orleans Saints.
They're going to throw it. Breeze has the fullback. Collins dropped it. The play worked to perfection, but Jed Collins dropped the ball. Now what do you do on a 4th and inches?
You got to go for it. First of all, it's a long field goal. The time on the situation, you got to go for it. I think the only thing you question now, you did have a wide open Jed Collins. He's got to catch that ball, but you have inches. You got to be able to run for that.
They give an end to Hill, and he is buried. Quentin Coples. What a stand by the Jets D. They got cute, John, and it didn't work.
Not the time to get cute. You have forced and less than half a yard. Run the football. Run it straight ahead. Yeah, they've got a big front, but you better trust your guys to beat their guys. That's good football right there. That's technique. That would make Buddy Ryan proud. Do your job. Get up the field. Quentin Coples does it. Good defense. Questionable calls on 3rd and 4th down for the New Orleans Saints.
Josh Hill is the 3rd tight end on the Saints depth chart, and Quentin Coples may have just made the best play of his career. That was outstanding. The Jets take over with the lead, see if they can milk the clock. Here's Ivory and nowhere to run. Jets 26, Saints 17, and now time a factor with 7:42 and counting.
Again, Quentin Coples upfield, textbook tackle. That's doing your job. We hear Bill Belichick say, do your job, and it's so important. Sounds easy, but you want to be the guy to make the play, and Rex Ryan saying, great job, and something else.
Let's go have a snack. We've said that before. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, his team down 9, and Bilal Powell in the backfield. Now it's going to rely on Rob Ryan's defense. Keep it where it is. It's Powell, nowhere to go. Good couple downs for the Saints defense. We've got ourselves a game break. Kurt Menefee, what do you got?
And one of the tougher 11-yard touchdown runs you'll see. Adrian Peterson somehow keeps his balance, drags Dallas defenders into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. Vikings missed the extra point, so it's a 3-point Viking lead at Dallas, just under 4.5 to go. Kevin and John.
What a run by Adrian Peterson. Holy cow.
Seems like we say that every week.
Jets are in a 3rd and 11. David Nelson in motion. Powell is the tailback. Saints showing blitz. Here they come. Smith backpedaling to Nowheresville and incomplete. He was looking for Powell, but that play didn't have a chance. And the Saints D does their job. After getting stuffed on 3rd and 4th and inches, they force a 3 and out.
You know, I know when I was on some great defenses in Tampa, we always took that as a compliment when your head coach went for it on 4th down, because it's showing some faith in you. If we don't get it, you guys go do your job, and the New Orleans Saints D certainly stepped up to the challenge right there.
But without Darren Sproles, who left this game in the 1st quarter with a concussion, it's Lance Moore who will try to return it. Good sailing. Moore falls down and will take it at the 15-yard line. 6:12 to play. The Saints unhappy at the result so far, but the Jets have the 9-point lead so far. Copels in the defense playing huge today. Stay tuned following the game for the State Farm post-game show. Plenty to do in the NFL today, but still plenty left here at MetLife Stadium. 6:12 to play. It's the Jets in front of the Saints by 9. Saints football. Breeze has some time and has a completion. It's Kenny Stills up to the 35-yard line. It's a 20-yard pickup and a 1st down.
This is where Drew Brees, he can get the ball down the field as well as anyone in this league. Right there, he pumps it to Jimmy Graham, then comes back to the backside. Big gain.
6. Ready, let's up.
Breeze has time again, hits Stills on the cross, and Stills has another 1st down. So Breeze having something he hasn't had really all game. Time to throw the ball and a couple of 1st downs. 12-yard gain.
Somewhat surprised. That's only Stills' third catch of the game. And I thought with Colston out, particularly with Sproles out, he would be a guy. He's a rookie, but he's been phenomenal of late. I thought they would lean on him more today.
Jimmy Graham is back in there. We saw him, remember, working on that left elbow. So he's in there for New Orleans. Bottom of your screen, number 80. Breeze looking for a sideline, tipped away. DeJuan Landry was there on the coverage looking for Josh Hill.
DeJuan Landry has played a fine game today. Remember, early on Breeze's first pick, getting his hand in there to tip the ball. Another tip ball right there, breaking on the football well, making plays at the safety position.
Landry's played well. Antonio Allen, by the way, went out a little while ago. Jets tell us now they're looking at a possible head injury. So Jaquan Jarrett, number 37, has been his replacement now for the last few series. Some movement. I believe it's on the Saints.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
8th penalty on New Orleans. It's on Charles Brown, the left tackle.
Sean Payton staying cool. He knows he's certainly capable with this offense and the firepower of quick strikes. 2-score game. You've got to score quickly. Doesn't matter whether it's the field goal or the touchdown. You got to get points on the board in a hurry.
4-man rush. Breeze looking for Lance Moore, who falls down up at the 49-yard line. Excuse me, that's the 46-yard line. Into Jets territory. 13-yard gain. And a 3rd and 2 for New Orleans. Four-man rush, incomplete. Looking for Jimmy Graham. Jaquan Jarrett was the nearest defender, and with 4:36 left, trailing by 9 points, I would think Sean Payton's going to go.
He's got to. He's got to go for it right here. And you got to think, although they just incompleted one to Jimmy Graham, that you go to your best player on offense, and right now, that's Jimmy Graham. Now, the Jets know that too, though.
Can the Jets hold up another fourth down stand? 4th and 2. Blitz coming. Breeze unloads. What a catch! Great hands from Pierre Thomas to keep the drive going.
Pierre Thomas in the role that Darren Sproles would typically occupy. That's a good catch. Controls the football as it goes to the ground. Hands underneath. Now watch the ball as it goes to the ground. Brings it in.
That was a good catch on a little low throw. Breeze over the middle. He's got Graham with just to make the catch. He's got a first down. David Harris on the tackle, but the Saints move it inside the 30. It's a 14-yard gain with 4 minutes to go.
What's the play?
Breeze, quick hit of the Graham, and Graham tackled immediately by Jaquan Jarrett. He's going to pick up just 3. Each team with 2 timeouts.
Well, urgency. They've got to be a little more urgent in their approach. Still a lot of time with 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but you got to pick up the pace here.
Pressure now coming. Breeze on the run. Throws it away. Put in the area of Pierre Thomas. Troy Davis, number 58. Good pressure.
Good coverage downfield. DeJuan Landry. You see Nick Toon. But possibly Nick Toon has lost a little bit of trust from Drew Brees with a couple drops early in the game today.
Saints are 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. Need to get to the 18. Over the middle, tipped, nearly intercepted by Antonio Cromartie. And now New Orleans has to kick a field goal down 2 scores.
And obviously you want the touchdown, but in some instances this might even be better. You got to kick the field goal. You need 2 scores anyway. Doesn't matter whether it happens first or last. And nearly another tip pick for Antonio Cromartie, and boy is he missing Marcus Colston today. Too many tip balls and catchable balls that the Saints have not brought in.
43-yarder. Hartley missed from the same spot earlier, but Hartley is 2 for his last 2. The 55-yarder earlier and the 43-yarder makes it a 1-score game. Saints a little frustrated, but they're within striking distance. 3:06 to play. Jets lead it by 6. Big finish set for MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The Jets lead it by 6. They're about to get the ball back. 3:06 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts. State Farm postgame show is coming up with Kurt Menefee and the fellas. Can the Chiefs stay unbeaten? Plenty of storylines around the league, but none better than the game we've got going right here. Saints at 6-1, Jets at 4-4. John, we showed you the Rex Ryan stock chart earlier in the day. Up, down, up, down, up, down. If the stock remains true, Jets are due for a win. Now the question, if you're New Orleans, do you kick off or onside here?
You kick off. You've got 2 timeouts, and you've got the 2-minute warning. So essentially 3 stoppages of play. Now the key to that, you trust this defense, you got to get a stop. You have to have a 3-and-out.
Cribbs will run up and take it out of the end zone. Good return for Cribbs. He works it out to about the 28-yard line. And so the Jets will have their fate in their hands right here. You know, Geno Smith has been so good in these situations, but he's been good trailing in these situations. How about now when you're leading in this situation?
Oh, well, I wouldn't put it much in Geno's hands. I'd put it in Chris Ivory's hands, because he's had his way. And on the other side, if you're the New Orleans Saints, Rob Ryan, come on, fellas, we need a stop. You think you're good? Go show it.
Ivory's had a big game, 138 yards. He gets it here. Ivory gets out to the 30, just a yard that time. Broderick Bunkley was there, had some help as well.
Rob Ryan completely selling out to stop the run. Look at That's Raphael Bush, the free safety. Rob Ryan brings him out of the middle, a 9-guy box. We hear so often of 8-man box, 9 guys in the box in an effort to stop that run.
So if Rob Ryan's going to sell out like that, do you trust in Geno Smith to make a decision and either run or pass?
Well, here's the deal. You can either trust. Remember, we talked to him. When they do that, if you get through that first wave, he hits his head on the goalpost. Nobody to stop him. Now, remember, if 2 more stoppages of the clock, but an incomplete pass, that stops the clock as well. I think you keep grinding this clock by running it, trusting that Chris Ivory, as he has all day, can bust one.
Vladimir Dukas comes in as an extra lineman now, number 62. Bilal Powell is the tailback. 2nd and 9. Powell, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Akeem Hicks blew that play up. And now a 3rd and long coming up. The Saints no timeout yet. Saints letting it run. They're saving their final timeout for now.
It appears as if they know they have the 2-minute, and they'd like Drew Brees to have one of those timeouts. I think you stop right there, though, in my mind.
Well, the Jets have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. There's about a 10-second difference.
I'm out of my 50.
3rd and 9. They go pistol formation with Ivory behind Geno Smith. They're going to throw it against a blitz. Smith in trouble, throws near side, incomplete. Stephen Hill never turned around. And the Jets go 3 and out. So the Saints defense, Rob Ryan's defense, the last 2 times, John, has forced 3 and outs.
And that's what I was saying before the series. You think you're good. Everybody's been praising you. I did in the open about them being a new defense, invigorated, a top 5 defense, a championship defense. Well, go show it. And it hasn't been real pretty today, but when it matters most, they've been on point.
So the Jets will punt it away. Lance Moore back to receive, quickly to do the punting. Moore is going to call a fair catch. That looked like a returnable kick, but Moore takes it, and now it's on the shoulders of Drew Brees. Geno Smith, the offense couldn't get it done. Now it's Brees with the ball, trailing by 6. 32 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime for Drew Brees. Only Tom Brady has more among active quarterbacks. He's got 1 this year, week 2 in Tampa Bay, when he hit Marcus Colston with a seam pass with seconds left, and Garrett Hartley hit a game winner. Here, they need a touchdown. Minute 58 to go. 26-20 Jets lead. Saints have 1 timeout remaining. Brees has time over the middle, incomplete, looking for Lance Moore. Let's go quickly to Joel Klatt with a game break.
Thanks, Kevin. And we go to Dallas. Inside of a minute, Tony Romo finds Dwayne Harris for the 7-yard touchdown, his 2nd of the season. 27-23, the Cowboys in a tumultuous week up in this one, Kevin.
So barring a miracle, the Cowboys trying to pull out a last-second victory. Can the Saints?
Jimmy Graham over on the left side has come through so much for Drew Brees.
Brees steps up near side. It's Toon who makes a big catch. He had 2 drops earlier today, but that one in traffic. And hang on, we have a flag.
Holding offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Don't worry about the replay. It doesn't matter. Big penalty on the center, Brian De La Puente.
What a well-thrown football by Drew Brees. And it's all for naught. And it's De La Puente trying to pass protect against Muhammad Wilkerson, who has wreaked havoc as he has all season.
There's dollars flying away. Saints are just looking for yards to get a win. Brees. And he was behind the intended receiver Moore. It looked like he never saw it. Kyle Wilson on the coverage and a 3rd and long.
Here's Brian De La Puente working against Wilkerson. on the previous play. This is what Muhammad Wilkerson does. You see a fistful of jersey as he gets turned. That becomes very obvious to Clete Blakeman, and Clete Blakeman does it. That man right there is a difference maker for the New York Jets. Muhammad Wilkerson having a all-pro type season.
The Saints have to get to the 29-yard line to keep the game going. On a third down, Breeze throwing it deep in a no-man's land, and it's intercepted. No, incomplete. Milliner trapped the ball, but now you've got a 4th and 19 coming up with the game on the line.
Ball did hit the ground. Good call by the back judge. Now you have a 4th and 19 for Drew Brees.
Welcome those of you watching the Cowboys pull out a victory over the Vikings. Along with John Lynch, Molly McGrath, I'm Kevin Burkhardt here in New Jersey. 1:27 to go. One timeout for the Saints, who trail by 6. But it comes down to this, a 4th and 19. Breeze in trouble. Shuttle pass incomplete. Jets football. Quentin Coples, who had the big play earlier on 4th down, got the pressure.
We came into today's game singing the praise of the New Orleans Saints defense. We better start singing about this New York Jets defense and Rex Ryan's group, because they have been all over Drew Brees. In his head, in his face, and it ends the way it started with Quentin Coples pressuring Drew Brees to an incompletion. See Wilkerson with the penetration. Coples staying alive, spinning out, and getting his hands on Drew Brees. He has nothing left to do but shovel it out there. This front is quite impressive.
Now the Jets will have it. Saints with just one timeout left, so the Jets looking to salt this one away. It's Bilal Powell. Just has to hold on to football now, and the Saints make the stop. John, hard-pressed for me to think of a better defensive line than the New York Jets the way they played this year.
They've been very good, led by Muhammad Wilkerson. He's the guy who does it all for this group. But Sheldon Richardson, Quentin Coples now starting to play like they expected to play him. Damon Harrison, Kenrick Ellis. It always starts up front on defense, and Rex Ryan's got a heck of a group. They certainly brought their A game today.
Final timeout by the Saints, so the Jets can take a knee. That's John Idzik, first-year general manager. Came over after a tenure with Seattle. John, you know him from Tampa Bay as well, and there's talk about, should he keep Rex Ryan as his head coach? He's kept him, and Rex Ryan's team is about to go 5-4. They'll give it to Powell. And I'm not even sure whether the Jets even need to run right now. They could just take a knee, but Powell will do that. Time ticks away. The Saints cannot stop the clock, and Rex Ryan will remain unbeaten against his brother Rob. Twice, or 2 of those wins have been as head coach of the Jets, so it'll be 3-0 as a head coach. And Rob's defense did the job the last 2 series, but it was the Jets' team that was a little better today.
That was the inability of the Rob Ryan's defense to stop the run of the New York Jets. The run game paved the way for the New York Jets, gashing this Saints defense.
Rex is going to call a timeout with 1 second left here on the clock. Jets defense has played great. A couple of interceptions against Drew Brees. The defensive line, constant pressure.
But Kevin, we just talked about the run game. 200 yards on that last run now for the New York Jets. 200 yards. We talked about ground and pound in the open, and that's what they did. They ground and pound all the way to a victory over the 6-1 New Orleans Saints.
Rex Ryan told us, John, sometimes we know we're not there yet as a football team, but we're going to give it everything we have. Today, everything they had was enough to be an excellent football team. The Jets surprising the Saints here at MetLife Stadium. 26-20 the final score. The Jets go to 5-4 with the win. The Saints suffer their second loss. Jets get the victory here in New Jersey. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.